Welcome to Dayla's class, brought to you by Alondra, Sofia, and Carmen. Welcome to week 3 of summer STEAM. This week is engineering. Today, we're going to be learning about solar cells and how they work. Before we begin today's activity, there's a video you should watch. The link will be down in the description. So, how does a solar cell work? Well, a solar cell is very reflective. It works by capturing energy from light particles as they bounce off the reflective surface. Each light particle has momentum, and when it strikes the reflective surface, it impacts the momentum to the reflective sheet, just like the collision of two billiard balls. By rotating slowly, the cell can change the orbit around the planet, and when it gets too far away from the planet, the cell then begins similar maneuvers to orbit around the sun. The best sort of missions for a solar cell involves a dive near the sun, where the light is intense and the cells are very efficient. For this reason, more cells are designed to tolerate a much higher temperature than one might expect. Now that you know a little bit more about solar cells, let's move on. Before we move on to our activity, let's review Newton's law of motion. Newton's first law says that an object in motion tends to stay in motion, and objects in rest tend to stay in rest, unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Newton's second law states that force equals mass times acceleration. Lastly, Newton's third law says that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Now it's time to build our own solar cell. Let's begin. For this activity, you will need a sheet of aluminum foil, 8 popsicle sticks, a pair of scissors, a roll of tape, a marker, fishing line, newspaper, toilet paper roll, straws, and rubber bands. Since I didn't have a toilet paper roll, I just used cardboard and folded it into a cylinder shape. We will now begin by designing our solar cell. For mine, I decided to use my aluminum sheet foil as the back of the cell. Then in the center, I will be adding my tube. And for support, I will be adding popsicle sticks that go from the center to the corners. Once our design is done, we can start working on our solar cell. I start by setting my toilet paper roll in the center and tracing it. I will be cutting out this circle out. To make sure that the hole is big enough, I place back my toilet paper roll in the center, make sure it fits snug and tight, and then I move on. Up next, I will be taking my popsicle sticks and placing them from center to corner. It looks like I only need about 1.5 popsicle sticks, so I will be cutting my popsicle sticks so they can fit into the cell. Once I have my desired lengths, I will be taping my popsicle sticks with the roll of tape. I would also like to add right now that you will not be using all the materials that I listed out in the beginning. This is because I'm just doing a simplified version of a solar cell that will demonstrate how it orbits around. But if you would like to do a different kind or a different variation, you may do so. Remember, use your creativity when designing. Once my popsicle sticks are secured, I will be adding my toilet paper roll in the center. Make sure to also use tape to attach this so it doesn't move or go anywhere. Once this part is secured, we will start to test out our solar cell. Grab your fishing line and make sure to go to somewhere where you have plenty of space, whether it's outside or your living room. You're going to also need your tape. You will put your solar cell through the fishing line, and your fishing line you will attach to 2 different things like walls. I use tape to hold the fishing line up. I'm using my newspaper to blow a little bit of wind towards my solar cell. If this was a real solar cell, we would be able to use the energy from the light to push the solar cell. But in this case, we will let our newspaper wind represent the light energy. Once our cell starts to be in motion, it will remain in motion, unless it's interrupted by something else, as Newton's law states. So now, it's your turn to build your solar cell. Let me know down in the comment section if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. As always, thank you for joining me today.